So welcome back to another episode, and today is my game hype for 2018. All the games I'm looking forward to this year, and there is a ton of them. I thought 2017 was a remarkable year for video games. 2018 looks exactly the same. A lot of incredible things coming. I thought I'd just talk about some of the games I'm really hyped for right now. The number one game I'm really hyped for is Ni no Kuni 2, and it got pushed back to March. But you know what? If it makes the game better, I have no problem with that. I love the first game's aesthetic style. I wasn't a huge fan of the combat, but I love the world that Studio Ghibli created, with Bandai Namco, and I just thought it was such a visual masterpiece, beautiful storyline, very emotional for anybody who played it. So I'm really looking forward to the next game. The next game looks absolutely out of this world. Bandai Namco is going to have a hell of a year this year. They're releasing Dragon Ball FighterZ. And I played this game in New York City with my friend Baruti, and it was like, wow, I couldn't believe how amazing this game was. And I remember when I first discovered Street Fighter 2 years ago, I first played it and I was like, man, this is like Dragon Ball Z, like I was watching Dragon Ball Z back in the early 90s. And I was like, this is just like Dragon Ball Z. And I always wanted a fighting game that was like that had a kind of like an anime style. And there's been games over the years, but when I saw FighterZ, I was just like, oh my god, this is everything I've ever wanted in a Dragon Ball fighting game. And I must admit, I was playing in New York and I was not great at it because I was trying to play it like Street Fighter, and I can't do that. I think it's more of a versus style game, and so I have to kind of retrain my mind, so I can't wait to get the game and play it and practice it, and it just looks so visually gorgeous. And me and my wife just sat through, I've been very sick lately, and I just got through every single episode of Dragon Ball Super, so I am super hyped for this game. Now, I don't know the release date, but I know it is this year, Ace Combat 7. I am an old school Ace Combat fan. I discovered it on the PlayStation 1 with Electrosphere. It seemed like the Top Gun of airplane dogfighting games, and I fell in love with that game. I couldn't believe how amazing it was. And I was one of those guys, I'm like, I don't think I'm into like flight simulators or that type of thing. I don't think I'm into these types of games. But when I played the Ace Combat series, it made me a believer, and I just loved dogfighting and spinning upside down and shooting missiles at my enemies, and the new game looks amazing. And what I really like about the new game as well, I don't know if I'm going to get motion sickness from this or what, but it has a VR component to the game, so I can put on the PlayStation VR headset and be transported into that cockpit, and I don't know if I'm going to get motion sickness from that or not. I really want to try it out. It seems incredible, like playing in a cockpit of like a Tomcat. That'll be insane. Now, when I was in New York City this year, I got a chance to play the demo of Lost Sphere, and that's by Square Enix, and I played it on the show floor, and I was like, I'm liking this game, but I really need to play a little bit more of it. I don't have enough experience playing it, but it's a Square Enix RPG. I have a soft spot for those, so I will definitely give it a go this year. And speaking of Square Enix, this is the year we get Kingdom Hearts 3, unless they change everything and say, sorry, we're delaying it another year. This game has been delayed for so long, I can't even remember anymore. It feels like Final Fantasy 15, how long that got delayed. This is the same thing. And I've never really talked about Kingdom Hearts. I'm a real bit of a Kingdom Hearts fan, which is crazy. I've only ever finished the first game that came on the PS2, and I just remember thinking, they're combining Disney characters and Square Enix characters into one? This is a disaster. And when I played it, it was the exact opposite. It was very charming and wondrous, and I kind of got swept up in the kind of action RPG mechanics of it. And I'm looking forward to the new game. It looks unreal. Now, I just ordered a physical copy of this, and that is Secret of Mana, the remake. I have a lot of nostalgic memories. There's my Secret of Mana here that I bought right when it came out in the early 90s. I'm a big fan of the original, and then I find out they're making a remake to it, a reimagined version of it. I was sold, and then I found out you could buy a physical copy. I had to go to the GameStop website, so I picked up that. I'm really hyped for this game, just to experience Secret of Mana again. Secret of Mana is a game I played in my high school years, just after I just graduated, with my friend Andrew down the street, and I get a little bit of tears thinking about when me and Andrew were playing that game back then. It's a very innocent time in my childhood, and I can't wait to recapture that with this brand new game. Now, I'm going to take a chance this year and play a game series that I've never played before, and that is the Far Cry series. It's not as though I'm a hater. I've just never played it. I've just never gotten around to it. It's never been in my zone of things to do. But Far Cry 5 looks so interesting and is so controversial with some cults and some crazy things going on in there. And I'm fascinated about the plot. Isn't that what's so crazy about it? It's such a controversial game that it caught my attention. I was like, this is really kind of edgy stuff, and I want to experience what, Ubisoft is offering with this game. So that is a game I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to play, and I think I'll even review it because I'm coming from the point of view of never playing a Far Cry game. Am I going to love this series? Am I going to dislike this series? I really don't know, but I'm going to have fun trying. Now, I'm going to get the obvious games out of the way as well. God of War, PlayStation 4. Looks insane. I was sitting there looking at it when they showed it at E3 and the music kicked in with the orchestra, and I kind of got shivers, and I'm like, wow. And I must admit, my friend Andrew is a bit more of a God of War fan. I remember years ago, he's like, come on, like this is years and years ago. He's like, you got to play the God of War series. I'm like, I don't know if that's really for me. I started playing it, and I'm like, thank you, Andrew, for introducing me to this. This is great. And this new game, the visuals, the gameplay, the story between him and his son. And I really like the way they've gone with this new installment. It seems a lot more personal, with the character interactions with him and his son, and the environments. The environments are beautiful looking, and I'm kind of jumping in, and I don't know what to expect. I know it's going to be obviously an action game, but what other surprises are in there? How long is this game? Is this a long action game? Is this going to be a 20-hour game? Or is it like, hey, I can finish this game in 5 hours? I don't know. But that's a game I'm really looking forward to. And obviously, I'm excited about the new Spider-Man game. If anybody was wondering, I've been checking that out at E3 every year and going, this is everything I've ever wanted in a Spider-Man game. They really look like they've nailed it. In the gameplay mechanics, it looks like you can do so many kinds of mechanics with Spider-Man as a character. You can hang on a ledge and shoot your web, jump down, beat the hell out of somebody, and then go back into the shadows. Wow, looks amazing. Another obvious choice is The Last of Us 2. I played The Last of Us 1, and then I played the remastered version after that. I fell in love with the game, and my wife fell in love with watching me play the game. In fact, she said to me, you can't play the game unless I'm watching because I have to know what's happening with this story. And that says a lot about a game, doesn't it? That we've really hit a point in video games where they are cinematic experiences that rival, if not sometimes surpass, movies because it's an interactive medium. You're controlling these characters. You're a part of this story. And by being a part of the story and the interaction, you just get sucked more into it. And if the storyline is good, oh my God, you should feel the power impact of The Last of Us. I mean, so many powerful moments where me and my wife were almost like, oh my God, am I getting choked up? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The game got me. It got my wife. Can't wait for the next one. I have no idea what direction they're going to go in. Red Dead Redemption 2? The hype is real. It is there. Now, I played the first game, and if you had told me, John, one day you're going to play like a cowboy game that's open world, and you'll love it, I'll be like, really? I'm not really into cowboy stuff. I'm not really a fan of westerns. I'm not really into that. I love the old Clint Eastwood movies, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That stuff is gold. But my God, Rockstar completely pulled it off. I remember playing the first game and being absolutely transported into the Old West, with my 6 guns and jumping on horses with my friends and riding off and getting bandits. It was incredibly engrossing. The gameplay, the story, the visuals, they pulled it off. And then in this next one here, looks like they just have taken it to another level as well. And I can't wait to get together with my friends, jump on a horse, grab my 6 guns, and shoot the hell out of some people. Now, I almost forgot about the Dragon Quest games coming out this year. That would be a travesty, and I am not forgetting them. They're hugely hyped for me. Dragon Quest XI is coming out at some time this year. I don't know exactly when. There's no release date. I'm sure that will be announced sometime this year. But I played the import version, and I'm here to say I'm a believer. It lives up to the hype. If you're a Dragon Quest fan, you've been waiting for the next installment on a next-gen console. You're gonna get it. And Dragon Quest XI looked amazing, but just being able to ride on the back of a horse, kind of like, Breath of the Wild style. It's just so great to be in a high-definition Dragon Quest world, exploring it. And there's a lot to explore. There's a lot of new game mechanics, creeping around corners and stuff like that. Just to be able to, revisit some of the old Dragon Quest monsters again. It's a comfort zone series. It always has been for me and my wife. And so we're really, really looking forward to that game this year. And one that you could almost forget about, and my wife would kill me if I forgot about this game, is Dragon Quest Builders 2. She finished that game, the first game, loved it so much. She was so addicted to it. And then she was telling me a couple of weeks ago, she's like, I really wish there was another Dragon Quest Builders game, even some DLC, so I could just keep on playing the game because she was that addicted to it. And they have announced that there is a Dragon Quest Builders game. I think it's coming out sometime this year, not exactly sure of the date. Now, the surprise announcement in 2017 was Mega Man 11, and I phoned up my friend Rob on the phone, and I was like, oh my god, and I put the phone there, and he was screaming, he was so excited, and he's got his love for Mega Man back again, because he's always loved Mega Man, but because of the cancellation of Legends, it soured for a lot of people, and then, the Mighty Number 9 fiasco. It was just a bad scene overall for the Mega Man, fan base out there. And I think seeing that the original creators are coming back to work on Mega Man again has really made everybody excited about Mega Man again, including myself. I saw everything, and it's not going to win any graphical awards, but I thought it looked really, really nice. I was really hyped for it, and so that's a big game this year. I said to Rob, you got to come over. We'll sit and we'll finish the game in one weekend. We're going to try to do that and review it together, because that's one game that I really want to have Rob on the show and talk about the love of Mega Man and the resurrection of Mega Man in 2018. So next we get to Nintendo, and I'm filming this. This is actually updated. All the rest of the video that I've shot so far, I shot a week ago. And I'm like, okay, perfect. And I was kind of dealing with a cold then, bronchitis. Anyways, Nintendo completely screwed up my video because they decided to have a mini Nintendo Direct, which completely changed my outlook of Nintendo games coming out in 2018. And so I gotta say, obviously, Ys 8. I am thrilled to get that game on the Nintendo Switch, just to be able to take it with me. A great action RPG from 2017 that a lot of people overlooked on the PS4. And if you own a Nintendo Switch, this is one to really look forward to, especially if you like Zelda-style action, adventure-style games. Well, obviously, Ys is much more of a role-playing game, but it's wonderful stuff, and it's coming to Switch, and I think there's a special edition coming out for it as well. Dark Souls Remastered is coming in May. I'm so thrilled to have that on the Nintendo Switch. As I said in my Nintendo Direct mini episode, I can't wait to take the game with me to a forest and have my ass kicked. I'd be screaming in a forest, I can imagine. I'll be scaring away all the birds out of the trees. It's going to be absolutely nuts, but that is awesome that we're getting a Dark Souls game on a Nintendo platform. Thrilled about that. Now, I still have to look down and read this title because I haven't got it memorized still. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. This is a fighting game where you can use all the old SNK female characters, and one of my favorite female characters, Athena, which has always been a big SNK character, has a huge history with SNK, is in this game. They're all fighting each other in this game, and it's really unusual, and you can upgrade your character look, you can buy them different outfits. I don't know what this is about. It just seems to be a very small fighting game. I'm interested in this, though. It's a unique game for Nintendo Switch. I can't wait to try it out. Now, I was super surprised when they announced Bayonetta 1 and 2 is getting bundled together, and that is coming out in February. And at some point this year, we're getting the long-awaited sequel, Bayonetta 3. And I like this game quite a lot. I played Bayonetta 2, 1 and 2 with Kim. Kim did a Let's Play with me on the second one, and we had a lot of fun playing it and just seeing the game and trying it all out. And this is a very unique, over-the-top kind of like action adventure style of game, and It's over the top, crazy stuff, but I love Bayonetta. I love the character design. I love the world setting. I love the monsters. It's crazy. The design work is astronomically nuts. I have the art book in the other room. I've looked at it many times and just marveled at the artistic design of this game. Now, I'm going to mention a few games that I don't know if they will be released in 2018 at this point. We can only hope. We can only hope. The first one is Metroid Prime 4. When I saw that announced, I was, air fisting. I was like, yes, I was so excited to get another Metroid Prime game on the Nintendo Switch. We have no idea what it's about. It's a pure title screen at this point, but my imagination is going insane thinking what they did with Zelda and Mario. What are they going to do with Metroid? I know I'm going to be impressed. I know that they're really going to pull it off because they pulled it off so far with all their other big franchise games. So that's one. I don't know if it's going to be like winter. Will we get this game? It's still unknown at this point. Now, I'm crossing my fingers that this game comes out in 2018. I 100% can't say that it will. I'm just hoping to all hell that it will. And that is the next Pokemon game. They announced it, that they were working on it. The next generation Pokemon game. It's kind of weird to be going away from the 3DS finally, to be moving to the Nintendo Switch, but it's still going to be portable. So we're going to have the best of all worlds. We're finally going to have a real high definition Pokemon game, and I can't wait to get into this. I was getting a little burnt out on the last bunch of Pokemon games. I'm like, I think I'm getting Pokemon fatigue over these years. I need to see really stellar graphics and to really push the series forward a little more. And I think we're going to get that. I don't know if we're going to get it this year. Now, we got Fire Emblem Warriors last year, which was quite a fun game. Kim went all the way through Fire Emblem Warriors on the 3DS. I've been playing the Switch version. It's a lot of fun. But, at the same time, Kim asked me a really interesting thing. She's like, oh, this is Fire Emblem, is it? I said, well, no, this is an action version of Fire Emblem. She's like, oh, it's not like Fire Emblem? She's never played the series. So I can't wait for her to play the Switch version of this, which is going to come out maybe 2018. They're still holding a few games back, maybe for the E3 that they want to fully announce and show and highlight. But I'm hoping it comes out 2018. That would be really great. Now, I get a small tear thinking about the possibilities, and this has not been announced. That we will get a next generation Switch version of Animal Crossing. Kim is already addicted to the goddamn phone version, the mobile version, and I'm just like, I don't see her anymore. She's always in her room just playing that. She's loving it. We were laughing about it the other night. I'm like, I can't believe you found this. I tried to keep it a secret from her, but she found it. I was like, god damn it. So, but for me, Kim has become the big Animal Crossing person, but for me, it all started on the GameCube, and I went and picked it up day one on the GameCube, and I was just mesmerized with the game. I was kind of blown away how, sucked into the game world I was, because it is a very cutesy world, but it's so charming, and it's so addictive. The collecting aspects and building up your house. I had a severe problem in that game. I played it for 1 year straight, checking every day. I got a lot of good memories thinking back to the original Animal Crossing and all the fun that I had on it on the GameCube. It really was a defining, exciting moment, and it was the first in the Animal Crossing franchise. And look where the franchise has gone since those days. And yeah, I'm very nostalgic for Animal Crossing, and I'm just bringing it up in case they announce it at this E3. Now, I'll end off saying a couple of smaller titles that are huge in my mind. One of them is Bloodstained. I've been hyped for this for a long time. I've had it ordered. I backed the Kickstarter right away. I made a video about it years ago now. And I got a chance to play it down at New York City this year at Comic-Con. And I also got to interview Koji Igarashi, which was a highlight moment of my life. And he said production on the game is going extremely well. It's living up to his high expectations. And I played the game and I was really loving it. I just love the side view action. I love the graphical look of the game. And there's still a lot more to go in the development cycle of this game. And I'm hyped. I don't know. It should be out 2018, but you never know with these things. Obviously, Shenmue. Where the hell is that? I can't wait for that game to be announced. And hey, let me say, take your time with these games. As long as you want. That's fine for me. As long as the end result is great, then I'm okay with it. Like, spend your time getting it right. And with Shenmue, I want them to spend their time and polish it, and polish it, and polish it. And, no matter what, Yu Suzuki I'm a huge fan of his. I don't think he can do any wrong. In my mind, I know he's working extremely hard on the game. Now, here's a game you almost forgot about, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. And I think this game kind of got overshadowed. It's gotten kind of forgotten about, which is a travesty. This is one that should be on everybody's list. A great action RPG side view game. We can turn into different monsters. Looks incredible. And I think it got overshadowed by Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. I think everybody was so concentrated on that game, which is a great game. But this is a great game as well. It's a brand new Monster Boy game. And I am totally stoked for this game. The art style, they've been, working on this art style, like crafting it for so long and refining it and getting it better and better and better. And they've been showing the development to all the fans out there like myself, waiting for this game. And I am so hyped for this game. This is my type of game. It's like a Shantae game. It's like a Wonder Boy game in that, general type of way as well. Super hyped up, and I think everybody has forgotten about it. And I'm just here to say, don't forget about this game in 2018. I do believe it gets released this year. Now, a lot of the games I mentioned here, I hope the release date is 2018. Obviously, I can't guarantee that if games get pushed back or whatever, but these are the games right now that are slated for 2018. Tell me, guys, what are you excited about this year? What games are you excited about? Is there anything that I missed? Of course there's stuff that I missed. There's so many games coming out. You can't mention them all. I'd be here for hours and hours and hours. These are just some of the highlight moments. But please tell me down below in the comments other games that you're really excited for this year. I'd be really interested to hear. So anyways, guys, until next time.